Weekend Update.
What's up everyone? I thought we'd start today's video a little bit differently with that little bit at the start because one house guest has actually left us and left the Big Brother house. They have self-evicted, very unfortunately. But on the other side of things, the power of veto has been won and the game must continue. So I guess we've got nothing else to say, but live from New York, it's Saturday night, live feed update.
It's Saturday Night Live.
Alright folks, now right before we get started, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. And while you're at it, go on, hit the like button and hit the bell icon. It literally takes 2 seconds to do so, and hitting the like button helps me more than you even know, folks. So I'd really appreciate it if you could all do that. Alright, let's jump into the power of veto. Now folks, brace yourself because Shanna has won the power of veto. Now, we all got our hopes up, or quite a lot of us got our hopes up, that she would use the power of veto during the live eviction the other night, and guess what? She didn't do it. But this time, I think a lot of us are hoping that she is going to. With Carson sitting on the block and with Cynthia sitting on the block, they are two people who are firm fan favourites right now, and I think people are hoping she's going to use it and at least save one of them. So Shanna was talking to. I often fall into the trap of calling her Shanna, only because of how it's spelled. Because I didn't know her before Big Brother. Shanna was talking to Lamar and saying to him, you know, Misha was saying, if you want to save Cynthia, that's fine. And she, excuse my language here, folks, but she was basically saying, I don't give a shit what Misha wants. I want to take Carson down. Shanna really does not like Misha at all, and it's shown. It's really shown. And basically, she wants to take Carson down. That's probably going to ruffle a couple of feathers. I would imagine Todd Bridges is going to be put up. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, right? My guess is Todd Bridges is going to be put up. After the way Todd's kind of gone on this week, because he made a comment the other day that really didn't sit well with me, and I tweeted about this, and I said, he said he was talking to some of the house guests in the kitchen, saying, have you noticed that when Chris Kattan gets up at night, that they put all the lights on for him, when everybody else gets up, they don't do that for them? And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, it might be the fact that it's almost like, you know, Chris Kattan's suffered serious back injuries and fallen over multiple times during the night. It's so small-minded for Todd to say something like that. So for me, I was really rooting for Todd Bridges before this, but as time's gone on, I don't really know where I am with him anymore, and his game's not all that impressive either, if you ask me. So if Todd's going to be put up, I'd rather him go than Cynthia or Carson. But that's where we stand with right now, folks. Shanna has won the power of veto, and she is wanting to use it on Carson Kressley. Sides of the house are really starting to emerge now, and Shanna was talking to Cynthia, saying if we can save both you and Carson this week, if Todd does go home, then it's going to be an all-out war. It's going to be... I say sides of the house, we've kind of got two people that everybody's against at this point. It's going to be Misha and Todrick on one side because they've played extremely hard out the gate. I think Misha has scared people with her challenge prowess and also how forward she is in telling people what to do. She almost demands people to do certain things, and it's like her way or the highway. And then on the other side of things, you've got Todrick, who was basically created an alliance with everybody on day one. Then that blew up in his face, and everyone was like, Todrick's a snake, he's got an alliance with everybody. Again, people, don't come for me, that's literally an observation. That's what happened. You all saw it on the first episode. And then on the as I said, on the other side of things, we've got, if Carson and Cynthia both survive, we've got Carson and Cynthia, of course, with Lamar, and I'm trying to think this straight, Shanna, and Chris Kirkpatrick is now on that side as well. So it's going to be basically Todrick has to win HOH this week, or he's probably going to be on the block. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Unless Todd Bridges stays around, I don't think Todd will do that. I think Todd might put up Chris Kirkpatrick, and I don't know. It's going to be... Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the combinations. I feel like these people who've kind of been in the background, it's hard to tell who they are going to put up because they don't really talk that much game. Who knows? We'll see. As the days go by, it's becoming more and more apparent that we could actually have the votes to keep both Cynthia and Carson. Chris Kirkpatrick was saying if Todd Bridges goes up on the block, pardon me, folks, we all just vote Todd out. I don't know what happened there. We all just vote Todd out, and then Cynthia and Carson can stay, and then there's the all-out war, basically. All this is good and well only if Todd Bridges goes up on the block. There is no promise that Misha is going to put Todd up. Misha could put Lamar up. Misha could put Chris Kirkpatrick up. We know she can't put Shanna up, and she's not going to put Todrick up. This is quite fascinating. It's a really, really exciting one. And I know people are going, oh, no, it's not because we're going to lose someone that we like this week. And I'm thinking, not necessarily. I always talk about this, and I talked about it yesterday. The beauty of Big Brother is the fact that week after week after week after week, we can be trampled. Our hopes and dreams can be trampled on of who we want to be evicted or who we want to be saved or whatever, who we want to win HOH. And we go into each eviction and then our hearts are crushed. But the beautiful thing is, 90% of us continue to watch the show. Why do we do that? Because we've got a little bit of hope in our hearts, right? I know I do anyway, and I know most of y'all do, because you wouldn't be watching if you didn't feel like something good could happen, something you want to happen will happen. That's the beauty of Big Brother, and that's why we all continue to watch, and that's why going into Friday's eviction, I'm going to go in with a little bit of hope in my heart, and hope that we could see something mega happen that will shake things up. Now for the saddest moment of the day, folks, it brings me no pleasure at all in saying that our Cake King, Chris Kattan, has left the Big Brother house. I am distraught and extremely sad about this. I just think during his time on that, I don't want to get emotional. This is ridiculous if I'm getting emotional. This is the guy from SNL. I know it sounds stupid, but it's like Chris Kattan. We saw him for a week on the feeds. 1 week. That's it. 1 week. 1 week since you looked at me. Sorry, I went into lyrics there. 1 week. And it feels like an eternity we've been talking about Chris Kattan. What an incredible, remarkable, wonderful guy is all I've got to say. I put a little tribute. I put a couple of tributes on my Twitter, and a couple of them actually got quite a lot of likes. And that was nice to see that people were recognising how much of an incredible guy he was. But I'm basically going to try and paraphrase what I said on my Twitter. I mean, you know, I think during Chris Kattan's time in the house, he showed us what a kind, warm, incredible, wonderful, and special guy he is. I mean, what a remarkable man. I don't even know, like, the amount of pain he must have been enduring during his time in that house, mentally and physically, you know, with his back pain, and, you know, with him not being able to sleep because of Todd, and, you know, having to deal with all that, and the pressures of the game as well. And then he was there to comfort Mariah when she was having, you know, tough times, and he didn't cause any crap for anybody. He came in, he ate cake in the middle of the night, he entertained us, and he showed us what an incredible warm guy he is. I've got nothing but love and respect for Chris Kattan. Show me your support and love for Chris Kattan in the comments, folks. I'd love to hear it. It's heartbreaking to see him go. But for me, Chris Kattan will be remembered as a legend that brought Big Brother fans together. Thank you, Chris Kattan. Chris Kirkpatrick seems to be at the end of his tether. He's basically said to Misha, you know, if you have to cut me, if I'm the one who has to go this week, then get it over with. I have to go. As long as you give me a crying goodbye message, you can get rid of me. And it's interesting to see the psychological aspect of this game and how Chris Kirkpatrick has gone from being in power as the head of household to at the bottom, then ending up in this argument with Todd Bridges, and then literally saying, I'm ready to go. It must feel really crushing to feel like, you know, you're in power and then you're at the mercy of everybody else. I mean, it's an interesting game, and I love it. That's why I love Big Brother and I love Survivor. I'm currently doing a rewatch of the seasons of Survivor. I just finished Borneo the other day, and I've moved on to Survivor, the Australian Outback. Survivor people, hit me up. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen those old seasons, the OG ones, the classics, because brilliant. It's so fascinating, you know. And I still love Survivor to this day. You know, we're on Survivor 42 is coming up in 1 month's time, and the thing that never changes about Survivor is we always get the game. But the beauty of Survivor is watching all these different people mesh, and the same goes for Big Brother, and how these different people combine, how big personalities, how often in the, you know, maybe in the real world, they rise to the top and become the top of a social food chain, you know, because their voice has to be heard over everybody else's. That can often happen in the Big Brother house. We've seen these big alliances where you become the head of it, but also that can put a big target on your back, and you're cut much earlier than the people who reserve themselves. So it's fascinating to see the comparison of the outside world to inside the Big Brother house, and how these attributes that people have to their personalities can both benefit and hinder you in a social game. Wonderful. I just love it. I could talk literally all day about the different psychological and social aspects of these social games. I love it so much. I won't talk about it forever because I know, well, to be honest, I would say I would bore you all, but I feel like Big Brother fans in general, we all like this kind of talk. But yeah, that's just something to note on. And I find that fascinating how Chris Kirkpatrick's gone from head of household to basically, if I have to go, get rid of me. Fascinating, folks. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. Again, not a lot of game talk, just a lot of back and forth on, is the veto going to be used and who we're going to vote out if it is. And also, Chris Kattan leaving. Sad times. Sending good vibes to you, sir. King Kattan, that's what we call him. King Kattan, you're a legend. Thank you so much for gracing our screen. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you sad to see Chris Kattan go? I hope that's a yes. Who do you hope the veto is used on? Who do you hope is evicted after the veto ceremony? And who would you like to see rise to power as the new head of household on Friday? I believe it's Friday night. Yeah, tell me if I'm wrong. Anyway, folks, but thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're all staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. It's super important. Be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that good stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.